In recent years, the ethical implications of consuming meat in an era where plant-based alternatives are readily accessible have gained significant attention. As awareness of the environmental, health, and moral impacts of meat consumption increases, this question has become central to public discourse. This video explores the various dimensions of the debate, including environmental concerns, animal welfare, health implications, and cultural factors. The environmental impact of meat consumption. One of the strongest arguments against meat consumption centers around its environmental footprint. The production of meat, especially from large-scale industrial farms, is linked to significant greenhouse gas emissions, deforestation, water usage, and pollution. Studies indicate that the livestock sector is responsible for approximately 14.5% of global greenhouse gas emissions, surpassing the emissions from all transportation combined. Deforestation and biodiversity loss. The demand for meat has driven extensive deforestation, particularly in the Amazon rainforest, to create space for cattle ranching and feed crop production. This deforestation leads to a loss of biodiversity as countless species lose their habitats. Additionally, the destruction of forests exacerbates climate change by reducing the planet's capacity to absorb carbon dioxide. Water usage and pollution. Meat production is also a major contributor to water scarcity and pollution. Producing a single kilogram of beef requires thousands of liters of water, making it one of the most water-intensive foods. Moreover, livestock farming generates large amounts of waste, which can contaminate rivers, lakes, and groundwater, causing environmental degradation and health risks for nearby communities. Ethical considerations of animal welfare. Animal welfare is another crucial aspect of the ethical debate surrounding meat consumption. The conditions in which animals are raised and slaughtered in industrial farming systems are often criticized for their cruelty. Animals in these systems frequently endure overcrowding, limited access to the outdoors, and inhumane treatment. The rise of factory farming. Factory farming, the predominant method of meat production, prioritizes efficiency and profit over animal welfare. This approach has led to widespread mistreatment of animals, including the use of confinement systems such as battery cages for hens and gestation crates for pigs. These practices raise serious ethical concerns about the morality of consuming meat from animals subjected to such conditions. Alternatives to factory-farmed meat. The rise of plant-based alternatives offers consumers the opportunity to choose products that do not involve animal suffering. Companies like Beyond Meat and Impossible Foods have developed plant-based meats that mimic the taste and texture of animal products, providing an ethical option for those concerned about animal welfare. Health considerations. Meat versus plant-based diets. The health implications of meat consumption versus plant-based diets are another important factor in the ethical debate. Numerous studies have shown that diets high in red and processed meats are linked to an increased risk of chronic diseases such as heart disease, cancer, and diabetes. Nutritional benefits of plant-based diets. In contrast, plant-based diets are associated with a lower risk of these diseases. Diets rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and legumes provide essential nutrients while being lower in saturated fats and cholesterol. As a result, plant-based diets are often recommended for their health benefits and their potential to reduce the burden of chronic diseases. The ethics of personal health choices. Considering the ethics of meat consumption also involves reflecting on the responsibility individuals have toward their health. Choosing a diet that promotes personal well-being can be seen as an ethical choice, particularly when plant-based alternatives offer similar or superior nutritional benefits without the health risks associated with meat consumption. Cultural and societal considerations. While the environmental, ethical, and health arguments for reducing or eliminating meat consumption are compelling, it is essential to consider cultural and societal factors. For many people, meat is an integral part of their cultural identity and traditions. Cultural significance of meat consumption. In many cultures, meat plays a central role in traditional dishes and rituals. For example, certain meats are consumed during religious ceremonies or celebrations in some societies. The ethical debate around meat consumption must consider the cultural significance of these practices and the potential impact of encouraging a shift toward plant-based diets. Socioeconomic impacts of meat production. The meat industry also plays a significant role in the global economy, providing jobs and livelihoods for millions of people. The transition to plant-based alternatives could have socioeconomic implications, particularly in regions where meat production is a major economic driver. Ethical considerations should include the potential effects on communities that rely on the meat industry for their economic well-being. Conclusion: navigating the ethical landscape. In a world where plant-based alternatives are available, the ethics of meat consumption become increasingly complex. The environmental impact of meat production, the ethical treatment of animals, health considerations, and cultural and societal factors all contribute to the ongoing debate. While plant-based alternatives offer a promising solution for reducing the negative impacts of meat consumption, the decision to eat meat or not ultimately comes down to individual values and ethical considerations. As consumers, it is important to be informed about the consequences of our food choices and to consider how those choices align with our ethical beliefs.